Hey everybody, hope everybody's having a good weekend. The temperature's cooled off a good bit. Hey Connor's Farming Channel, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you coming in. Hey Mr. Steve. The temperature's cooled off a lot here. Yesterday was like 79 degrees for the high, I think. And I think the day was like 76. Feels great outside. I'm sure the heat and humidity will be back. I think the weather's looking good this coming week, like 20% chance of rain, so we're probably going to try to put some hay on the ground. Hey SLC, you doing alright, Brian? Got in the 60s last night. Yeah, the temperature, it feels great here. The mosquitoes is out though. I think it's because of the rain we've been getting. Normally they're real bad all summer, but it's been good here. Hey Midwest Alice. Humidity's real bad here, Connor. Normally, bud, it's terrible. Hey Traveling Hoosier. Hey John Warren, today you was driving, and saw what looked like the top of the corn stalks was cut off and still had the ears. Was the corn green or brown already, Hoosier? I really don't know why they would be cutting the top off. Good, just putting the battery in the Ford. If y'all guys is coming in, if you would give us a thumbs up. I had one sitting in the horse trailer, it was green. That's Popcorn SLC. Well, there you go, Traveling Hoosier. Yeah, it might be because they just haven't had time to cut the other ones yet, I would imagine. If it's the same type of corn. I've never seen popcorn being grown. She says it's hotter in Wisconsin than it is in California. Yeah, the humidity's terrible here. Normally. Like I said, we've had a real dry summer. Up until the past 2.5 weeks we're doing good. Hey Gordon. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. I don't know if SLC's messing with you or not about popcorn. Might be the truth. I don't really know. I've never seen any corn being grown. Hey Frugal Farmer. Yeah, we are steady getting it. But I think this coming week, like I said, it's supposed to be like mainly 20% each day. And I think one day is 30%. So we probably gonna put some hay on the ground this week. And for seed corn, they cut the tassels out. It will go from -40 to 85 the next day. That's a big temperature swing. Where'd you see the popcorn at, traveling Hoosier? Hey, G4 Picks. Appreciate you stopping in. 70% humidity today. I don't really know what the percentage normally be here in South Carolina in the summer, but it be's smoking. You feel like time you walk out you can't breathe or your shirt gets wet. I've been dry for the 12 month. South Bend, Indiana. Yeah, we're gonna try to make a big dent in the hay that we got standing this week also. Just hope that the 20 and 30% don't turn into a lot of rain. Now the purple truck won't start to jump the dually. When it rains, it pours, Brian. We weren't able to go to any racing again last night. No, Frugal, we haven't found nothing that said buy me yet. For those of y'all that's new here, just one thing you'll learn about me, I'm not going to get in a hurry. I'm going to be patient and wait for what feels right. That'll cause me to miss some things sometime, but maybe it'll work out in the long run. We got another little project we're going to start working on for carrying to the racetracks when we go. It's a lot of walking from the infield to the outfield where they park the cars. Some tracks park them both places, and we'd be walking back and forth a lot, trying to move cameras and from one car to another one. And we're working on a little pit bike type deal to move around, so that'll be coming up shortly. Hey, 69 Druth. That's what we do too, Frugal Farmer. We try to pick up one piece or so at a time, that as we go, as I can afford to buy it. That's going to be hard to do with a newer tractor though. But I was looking online for a little pit bike or something like that. This is what the guys call it that they use. And them things was pretty expensive. And I happen to remember that I had a little mini dirt bike. It's called a Doodle Bug at the farm. It's been sitting for 10 years or longer. So I went over there last night and drug it out, and I got it here in my shop. We're gonna probably just put a little bit bigger motor on it so it'll pull me around as where it was made for riding the kids. Maybe it'll drag me around. Finally got them both. A loose positive connection. Does your dually have 2 batteries in it, Brian? My dually's got 2 of them in them. I didn't know if yours did or not. Go on to get the tractor. How's your 548? 548. I'm trying to think what that is, John. I don't think I have a 548. I'm trying to think of the number of the bellers and stuff, and I can't think of nothing with 548. The 574, if that's what you're... The tractor's doing good. We run it a little more. My father-in-law's was the last one that I showed when the hydraulic was acting up. It's doing good, I believe. As soon as we start cutting hay, plan on cutting tomorrow afternoon, we'll know for sure then. Yeah, that's what I believe he was talking about, the 574. We're gonna probably go cut a ditch bank with my mower first. There's nothing on the ditch bank. It's between my cows and a hay field. I'll probably cut that first thing in the morning before I put new knives on the cutter to go start cutting hay. I just don't want to put the cutter with new knives cutting a bunch of weeds on a ditch bank before I start out cutting hay, because the new knives make a big difference cutting the hay. It's a lot less load on the tractor, seems like. The spare battery's too tall and it won't shut. Yeah, it sounds like you having one of them evenings, Brian. You can run a bungee cord from the grill down to the tow hook or something on the front to keep it from blowing up if you don't have far to go. Or now that you got it running, take that battery back out. You had a 784. Didn't change much. No, a bunch of the parts are interchange on them tractors. Yeah, now they're just running. Just pull that big battery back out the way. Just don't cut it off until you get back. Hey, Gerraldfarms. I had on my 574, the one that we use all the time, I had to add a second set of remotes on it, and I had to actually get the remotes off of the a 1080, the hydraulic, the valve off of a 1086 International. It's what fit my 574. No, Druth, we haven't had a chance to get any well drilling videos, buddy. The first valve we bought to add on to our 574, we took it off of 574 and it wouldn't even fit ours. And then we found out that they use several different valve bodies on them for the auxiliaries. So we still got that valve that we bought off of a used part still in my other shop. All right, Brian. I'm hoping that valve that we bought that won't fit at the 574, hoping it'll go on the 464. It would be nice to have a set of remotes on the 464. Hey, Espen. Appreciate you stopping in. That little mini bike that we're going to work on, it's got a 97 cc engine on it. I think we're just going to pull it off and put a 212 cc engine on it from Harbor Freight. Shouldn't be too bad to modify it for it to go in. get my wife to make some decals to go on it with Gerraldfarms, so people at the racetrack can know where to find us at. The fan's actually cool in here tonight. Hey, Scott. Let me see if I can get this camera to turn around. Hold on, guys. There she goes. Yeah, I had my ears pulled down. They pull your ears down in this part. Yeah, that's the little sickle that we're gonna try to fix up to haul my butt around the racetrack. Yeah, we're gonna try to fix that up, Scott, to zip around at the racetracks on the, because sometimes it gets tough trying to make it from one car to get a camera out to put it in another car. And I get to the track at about 5 o'clock, and we leave probably between 12 and 1 o'clock. And standing up the whole time, it gets tough trying to run around. I ain't gonna take my son's dirt bike. The way it mauled him up, I don't want nothing to go fast. I might get too excited and look like him. Put a 16 horse on it. I think it's a 6.5 horse that we're gonna put on it. And that one there is like 2.5 horse. Hey AJ, how you doing, buddy? Hey Michigan Hay Sales. Finally got in early enough to make it. Bailing on Sunday. Well, I'm glad y'all made it in. And if everything goes good, we should be putting hay down this week. I got about probably 65 acres that I want to get done. Hey Tom Jones. Glad you made it in a long time. Yeah, I'm glad you made it back in, buddy. Go big or go home. Yeah, because the best I can remember, that little mini bike was pretty weak. That's why I don't want to, because they've got a smaller motor that'll, the clutch and everything will interchange. But I don't think it's going to be strong enough to pull me around. I was going to just take the golf cart, but then I got to haul a trailer every time I go, and parking with a trailer is hard, and getting out of the racetrack will be hard with a trailer. So if I do something small like that little mini bike, I can just throw it right in the back of the truck and leave. Because a couple times we've been there and had to leave out real quick because the cow fence be down, or you know, and if you got a trailer and you got to load stuff on a trailer and strap it. Yeah, I think it's going to work out good, Mr. Steve. I look like Humpty Dumpty sitting on it probably, but at least I'll be riding. Give me one. Put a small diesel on it. Yeah, that will work too. Lots of torque. I can carry the Farmall A over there and leave it at the track, huh? Being I don't use it, just ride my A around when I'm at the track. There you go, Mr. Steve. I can put the snowmobile engine on it, can't I? Our third cutting hay is looking real good. With the rain that we've been getting, it's actually doing real good. I don't understand how our temperature cooled off so much, because I don't really watch local news no more. They talk about too much other stuff. All I want to see is the weather. But I know the temperature dropped yesterday and today here. You looked up a 500cc. Hold on. Yeah, I've actually got 2 golf carts. I've got the one that I make videos of us working on, and I've got another older one. We might put it in the older one so I can put a cage on it, in like a race car type seat, so if we actually turn it over or something, maybe we'll be safe. I've been trying to figure out how to put a transmission on it, like a variable speed type deal. But I like stuff that's modified and go fast, but I got to be able to go to work on Monday. So if we have to put a cage on it, then that won't be too hard. We've put them in race cars before too. We're sure we can put it on a golf cart. What is HCOP? Yeah, we sure might, Mr. Steve. Half century of progress. Okay. I've been checking somebody's videos out that's been up there at that. I can't even remember his name. When I get in front of this camera, y'all, my mind goes blank. I'm pretty sure I saw their name a while ago. I'm scrolling back in my comments, y'all, looking for. I don't even know where it's at. Big Tractor Power. No, I've seen some of his too, but I cannot remember it now. But he's put out about one every day for the past few days on it. The last one day was picking corn with the old 1 and 2 rows. Massey 1105, that's it. That's it. Yeah, they was plowing the other day, and then you got a few to put out on it. Good deal. When you get them out, I'll check them out. Hey BTO, how you doing? Hope all y'all guys has had a good weekend. And gals, if there's any gals in here. had to find my son some welding sleeves. He was wanting some leather sleeves for some reason. I think it's real hot in the room where they welding at. One had AC picking corn. You back? You didn't got? Oh, you just called the customer. You didn't carry it that fast. I started to ride up your way yesterday, Brian. They canceled all the local racing early yesterday, and my wife and everybody was gone, and I was home by myself with nothing to do really. I started to run up to one of y'all's place and hang out for the day because it was raining here, and we actually was getting rain here right before the line started. Did they ever come get the John Deere SLC? I'm going to back up before I say that because I don't know if you said anything about it yet. I was looking on, took it back Wednesday, and you haven't. I'm glad I caught myself. Like, see, right there is a prime example, y'all. I had a thought and read a comment, and that thought, whatever I was going to talk about, said, it's gone. Those green guys do that so it grows on you. I don't think it was a secret. I just about flapped my gums too much. Hey, Mark's Motorsports. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I've been doing some research. I mentioned it last week that I want to try to get some type of software where I can invite some of y'all to be like a guest on here with me for a few minutes on Sunday, and try to have a different guest or two lined up for each Sunday. And we trying. It will quit raining. Yeah. Like I said, I hope the weather people's kind of close to right, because I really want to get some hay cut. When you get your battery put in the morning, Brian, you can load your tractor and cutter up and come down here tomorrow afternoon and help me knock out some hay. Once we start, we start cutting, and we'll get that filled up. I'll stop here for the last several days in North Carolina. Yeah, we've been getting a good bit too. I think Gordon up in North Carolina at the Fayetteville area, last I had heard that they were still going to try to race last night. I don't know how they could have because it looked like a bunch of rain around them. Kubota's pulling hydro fluid between the motor and the pump, also the front axle. I'll trade you a good 574 for that leaking Kubota, Brian. I hate to get rid of a good tractor like that, but I would probably do it. Hey, Mr. Monty. Appreciate you dropping in and chatting with us, buddy. They better had rain tires. Hey, Mr. David. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Yeah, I did see something on my phone earlier about something out there is churning up. Man, I sure hope that them hurricanes. Whew. That's exactly what we do not need. Gotta go to the shop as soon as the next demo comes. Y'all doing good, Mr. David? You and Clint? Y'all probably not far off starting your third cut neither, are you? I know I've seen several guys started cutting some hay around Friday or Thursday afternoon, because there was some of the people were saying that Friday there was going to be no rain, but I held off, and I'm glad I did. Clint was on Facebook belling today. I haven't been on Facebook today, Mr. David. I missed it. Or Brian. Yeah, that Florence really messed us up, Gordon. We lost a bunch of hay that we had round baled up last year. We've got to try to cut a ditch bank. I've got one ditch bank that's pretty aggravating to get to, and we've got a cow fence up on one side and a hayfield joins it on the other side. And it ain't that it's too hard to get to, it's there's ground hornets love to be on that ditch, and every time I go over there I get eat up. I tried to cut it about 4 weeks ago or so, and we've got a sickle mower that we normally use for cutting the ditch bank, but it laid down on me again, and it messed up. The ground hornets put me out of there, so I'm gonna run over there in the morning and cut it with a disc mower, or try to. Hit 100 acres a day. 3 balers, 2 rakes, and 1 lady driver. Still got some hayland covered in water. Wow. But it seems like every time I try to cut that ditch bank, I get eat up. Because you have to go so slow with that sickle mower. That's why I'm going to carry the disc mower. I'm going to go down that ditch bank and probably high 3. Yeah, that lady probably outdone all them guys out there working. That's why I need a cab. Tropical storm on the way again. Yeah, I hope I hope it just falls apart or turns back out to the sea. $52 yesterday morning when you got up. I didn't look at how cool it was this morning, but yesterday the temperature dropped here. It was like 78 or something yesterday, and I think 75 or 76 today. It feels great outside. No humidity. Yeah, I really do need a cab, y'all. I'm gonna get one. Yeah, they can't get me in the cab. We're gonna get one. Ooh, excuse me. When I find the right one, we'll get it. I was really about to buy that Massey though. That was the first one I was about to pull the trigger on. Yeah, there's a lot of them, AJ. I just got to find it, and I got to get the right one in front of me at the right time. I sent that picture I sent y'all, I posted the other day I was actually picking up cutter knives from the New Holland dealer when I made that video. And I sent my wife that and told her I got it. I got to go get it Tuesday. And she made sure that I hadn't bumped my head. Yeah, 1466 would do good. 80s at night. No, I'm not complaining because it's cool. I'm happy because it's cooled off. This lady. She can run anything, eh? Man, I'm telling you, we don't give the women enough credit, y'all. Shoot, I didn't think my wife could fix nothing. They was down at the beach. Actually, they went Friday, and Friday night she called me and told me the commode was leaking and the line going to the commode had busted. And I figured I was gonna have to go down there yesterday and fix it. No, she called me at 7:30 and already had went to Lowe's and got the part and fixed it. Yeah, she made sure I hadn't had a brain lapse. Frugal hay farmer, about your round beller. You asked about your round beller the other week, last week, whatever it was, and I was trying to explain to you in the comments. That's hard to do. It's hard to explain something. But if that thing is turning and it's making enough noise to squeal like that, it won't take long for whatever it is to heat up. And with a handheld heat gun, you can find that noise. A lot of women outwork the men. You're right. Don't underestimate a farm girl. Your daughter replaced all the switches on the HR stove. Yeah, I was on the phone with her trying to explain it and tell her how to do it, and she done had it done. What's everybody got planned for this coming week? I'll watch the weather again, or check it in the morning. Yeah, there we go, man. There's a woman rolling her eyes. Got to spray and cut if the weather allows. As soon as we start cutting, as soon as the hay's baled up, we're going to start spraying nitrogen right by just as fast as we can. So if the moisture, the rain keeps up, then maybe we'll get another crop. Top front pulley. Yeah, that long chain going to the top is the top drive. That's what helps the belts turn on the top, Frugal. And there's one on the bottom that helps them turn also. And it'll be a double sprocket right there that runs over one of them. I gotta quit trying to read and talk. I get crossed up. Strain in the neck. I hope everything goes good with your neck, Mr. Steve. Paint the garage door. Finish the AC on your 4240. Yeah, you need to get that fixed, Mr. David, where I can borrow it. That would be nice to have tomorrow, keep me out them ground hornets. Fix the hydro pump. Raking bell later. You'll figure it out, Frugal. If you have any questions, if you'll send me a message on email, then we can get our contact information swapped, and I can talk to you on the phone, and or you can talk to me or whatever, and we'll try to help you best I can, buddy. Got to build a IH pulling tractor motor. Running Friday night this week. Good deal to y'all. Y'all dyno the motors and stuff, AJ? Yeah, I hope everything gets going good with your neck and back there, Mr. Steve. Message on YouTube, I don't know, Frugal Farmer, but if you'll send me, you can send me an email. It's Gerraldfarms, the same name as YouTube, at gmail.com. If you'll go to my About page on my channel, it should be there. I'm pretty sure you have 2 dynos for engine and for chassis. What kind of horsepower will y'all get out of them motors, AJ? I know in most of the dirt track racing, almost everybody runs small block for the rules, and we have to run the small block Chevys. Then it just depends on which class you run in, what the rules are. It depends on, what kind of horsepower you can get out of it for your class. $4,000 horse on diesel fuel. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. L4 or 5 is one. Something is biting my head, y'all. If y'all see something out there on my head, tell me. That's right there to play. It would be the 6030 with the 619 engine. There ain't no tractor pulls around in my area. Yeah, a back problem is something that would be hard to get over, I'm sure. Yeah, that would be. I don't even have a back problem, and I'd be stiff sometime getting out to bed in the mornings. 5S1 C6 C7. Dang, it sounds like y'all naming motors or something, Miss Steve. I'm sure all them's vertebrae or something though. The L1 or lower back. Waynesburg, PA, September the 21st. You got back issues too, Britt? The C1s are up around the neck. I know that I used to have trouble at night when I would sleep. I would wake up in my hand, like this part of my hand would be asleep, and it would feel like it was burning. And we put some type of mattress topper on. I mean, I would wake up 4 or 5 times a night. My wife got a mattress topper for our bed, and that pretty much eliminated it. And they was talking about doing surgery on my arm and my elbow and my wrist and all kind of stuff. But that simple mattress topper made a lot of difference in whatever was going on with my arms. Unlimited super stock. Anyone going to raid Area 51 this year? No. Thought about it, but can't get off work. He fell off the stack wagon and landed on the tongue of the wagon. Yeah, I thought about going out there and raiding it until they said that them guys is authorized to shoot and kill, and I'm like, well, there ain't no need me going out there worrying about no alien. I figured I'd just try to make some more hay and raise some cows so we can sell them for under what we got in them. Hey Brian, is the goat still around, buddy? I haven't asked you about that the last few times I talked to you. You don't think your medical coverage covers that? No, mine probably don't either. Not going on a military base and getting shot or blowed up. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you if the goats were still around. Wow, Brian, you lucky that didn't kill you, buddy. Yeah, they better stay away from that place. Yeah, that's how I started out farming, was with goats. A lot of y'all probably don't know that, but I started out with goats. We had probably 300 head at one time. Dang, you fell off a ladder on concrete, Mr. David? I fell off one, but I landed on dirt before. Yeah, we started out with goats and had probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 acres fenced in the woods. Had it broke up into 10-acre paddocks. And every 10-acre paddock had a small handling area in it where we fed them. So we could take care of them in that small area with whatever they needed, and to load them and unload them out of that area. And probably 4 or so years, 5 years ago, we had a bad ice storm that completely demolished our fence that was in the woods. And so when that happened, I went immediately started loading the goats up and got out of goats and went into cows. And I do miss it though. I miss the buying and selling of goats, because we would buy a lot off the internet, off of Facebook and Craigslist. I mean, I would travel like within a 200-mile radius, and pretty much every day I would be on the road buying goats. But we had that fence that we put in was only up probably a year and a half, and that ice storm destroyed it. We raise eggs for South Carolina plant. Yeah, I do miss it. We used to have a bunch of chickens. We raised chickens, and for meat chickens and eggs for fresh eggs, and we had the chicken tractors way before they was cool, and wasted a bunch of products on it because in my opinion it didn't work. Hey, small town farmer. We would rotate the few cows we had at that time off of a pasture and then have chickens in the chicken tractors behind them. But it just didn't work for us, you know. I'm not saying it won't work for everybody or for you, but it didn't work for us. I still got, for y'all that remember, if y'all seen our log cabin that we built, in front of that is like probably a 3-acre place that I refer to as the goat pen. I've been toying with the idea of putting electric fence around it so we could put a few calves over there just to save from bush hogging it. You know, something could be eating that grass, and instead of wasting money and fuel on bush hogging it. Thank you, Mr. Steve. It's just old style. We build it like the way they used to build them 100+ years ago. Yeah, y'all doing the regular chicken houses. Yeah, there's a lot of them in the edge of North Carolina right above me. Hey, Mr. Ted. Better late than never, buddy. Yeah, right in Fairmont and going towards Lumberton and stuff, there's a lot of chicken houses up that way. The operation at the thing was massive. If the one farm that had the equipment auction on the first of the year on that I had a video or so on, that farm was for sale, and I toyed with the idea of buying it because it still had 2 old hog houses on it and the permits and all was still good, and I toyed with the idea of trying to purchase that and keep the permits good, so if we wanted to ever try to raise some more hogs, and that would be an option. It's kind of tough right where I'm located to get the permits for chicken or hogs for the houses now. But as far as raising them small amount, you know, you can do that. Egg market in the tank. Yeah. Well, I'm still eating my share, buddy. Eggs a day. Yeah, what I eat's a very tiny drop in the bucket. But I do enjoy eating my eggs. I think you're right there, small town. Pretty much everything's in the tank. And that's one thing that helps keep me not deciding to buy a new tractor, is I watch a bunch of other people and listen, and pay attention to what they're talking about, how everything is down and this is bad and that's bad, and then I start thinking, and well, if I do and I have to pay for that. Hay sales are down right now for you. Well, the good thing is my cows are still eating it, so as long as they're eating it, that's good. But it's bad because if the market is still like it is when it's time to sell them, it's just a tough situation to be in. The bright side is, though, I love doing it. I haven't even looked much at the cattle prices, Gordon, to be honest. Pay the company $18,000 a month to kill flies. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to the cattle price a whole lot. We're not ready to sell, and it'll be several months before we would be around time to sell. Lost over $150 a head in a couple of days. That's what I'm hearing. I don't understand how we're going to keep raising them, or I don't understand how I could continue raising them and trying to grow the herd with the prices steady trending downward, and I'm wanting to get a newer tractor to making the hay to feed them easier. It's just hard for me to see it and be willing to take that gamble. But I will when I find the right one at the right price, when it fits our operation and the price that I know I can afford to pay. But still, that's going to make it tougher. Sell to the private market. That's very true, SLC. There's a cattle feedlot on site. Yeah, I see Ben's videos too. He's a good guy, seems like. DLH just bought a green tractor. Only large cattle will survive. That sure does seem that way. In our area, tobacco was huge. And now the ones that do tobacco in this area, it's not the small farmer like me no more. But probably the only reason that I'm able to make it is because I do it all myself and I don't have payments on nothing. That probably helps me to be able to stay going. It's a tough situation here, Frugal Farmer, with the hay. I mean, I see other people complaining about small people doing the hay and selling it too cheap and stuff, but to me, it's the only reason I started making any hay was so I could afford to have cows. And we do sell some hay. I sold a right good bit of hay up until last year about this time when the hurricane come in. And then when the hurricane hit, we lost so much hay, I had to cut off all my people, and the majority of what we were selling was round bales. And now that we built the rebaler, I don't really care to push too much round bales out when the profit margin is so much more on square bales. It's like a double-edged sword. It can be good in one way and bad in the other. You bet the bank will let you fail, but they keep loaning you money. So much borrowed. Yeah, the price you see in the store has nothing to do with the price that we make for selling beef. I don't know and don't claim to know how it all translates. But I know when the price goes down for me raising and selling beef, just because my price went down, I never see that in the store. So somebody texted my wife earlier today and said that our local grocery store had T-bone steaks on sale for $2.99 a pound. That is unreal. How they can sell it for that. Selling hay is the only way you can afford to keep your equipment working and going. Buy it retail and sell it wholesale. Very true. And pay the freight both ways. Like I said, probably the only reason I'm able to stay in it right now is because, you know, that we don't have any payments. But in order to keep growing and to try to get bigger, I'm going to have to bite the bullet at some point. It is a lifestyle, Brian. Like I said, it's the hardest kind of work I've ever done. But I enjoy it more than anything I've ever done. That's right, Mr. Steve. When they can sell that half farm land that you've had for years and sell it to a developer, they get the fold money that way. Farmers get 10 cents on the pound in the grocery store. That probably works out right, Gordon. Heck with the sellout. But we are looking for tractors, and I'm also looking for more ground because I'm not giving up on the cattle. I'm still looking for more ground so we can keep growing our cow herd. Because we're about to a point now to where we're getting very close to running out of pasture. And I don't want to sell ones that I would prefer to keep. Sometimes sellout's the only option. Yeah, it can be small town. I mean, when it comes down to it's gone as far as it can go, and you got to choose between feeding your family and trying to keep doing what you love, you've got to feed your family. There's gonna be some one day with less and less farming going on. I think it's gonna come to a point at some time when there's not gonna be enough food grown to feed everybody. And then when it gets to that point, I mean, it's too late to try to put an emergency plan in place. Yeah, and that's part of my argument, is if I buy equipment, which is going to make it easier and help me out, and I can do a little more, but I'm not going to go out and buy enough equipment to double my operation, to in essence double my profit. So then I'm just going to be splitting what I do make with the bank. It's just hard for me to play with all them numbers, being I've never had that much money to know that kind of money. That's a lot of money, Mr. Steve. Land is not that crazy high in my area. Yeah, expansion is hard to do. But I seen this year that I'm to the point, especially being by myself, that I took on more than I was able to do, and that was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do on YouTube, was share that. And coming straight out and telling y'all that I bit off more than I could chew was hard to do. I spent a lot. Acre for farmland. Some of the farmland here, small town, you can get for $1,800, $2,000 an acre. If it's hay type land. Now, if it's row crop land that has more options for it, you're gonna pay a little more because of the row crops. Them guys will snatch it up. Yeah, the row crop land needs better soil. And with the coastal hay, it'll do good in sandier soil here. But it was hard to admit that we bit off more, but all we can do is do the best we can and try to make decisions that keeps us going. Yeah, small town farmer. That 110 acres I showed the other week has got coastal on it now. You could buy that place for $200,000. Got a huge shed on it for working cattle and stuff. Yeah, the land's gonna be higher where you at, Brian, than here. Row crop land is 10 an acre, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Probably 300 acres around you just laying out. Yeah, I think the same way, Brian. But when you got the bigger guys, you know, I say bigger, but farmers that do the row crop, you know, that want it, and they're not making any more land, they willing to pay a little more to get it, and it just take them a few more years to offset the money for buying it. Wow, 10 to 15,000 acre. But like with me being small, you know, I just try to look. I probably try to look in the future too much and try to make decisions to, like I said earlier, to keep me here tomorrow, to keep me able to, being able to continue doing what I love doing. Seems like the further you go north, the higher land gets. It seems that way to me too, small town. Maybe start buying more land. Yeah, but if when you got that equipment, you know, if you're gonna continue to run it, then you're gonna be worrying about breakdown. So you're gonna probably continually be playing that equipment game, is what it seems that I see. Income. Toss up at the best. Yeah, I've been toying with growing a few row crops also, Brian. I really would like to experiment with some. But then again, it would be on the small scale, and we would have more in our seed, we would have more in our fertilizer, we would have more in combining or getting it combined. Unless we can find other people to work, to help work us in. Just got someone to harvest for you. I think I can get a couple guys I know that will harvest for me. You can cut corners, but then you don't make the income either. That's very true. That's something like I'm thinking about, Brian. The same thing, 20, 30 acres, 40 acres. It's a vicious cycle. That's right. Oh man, it's hard to see all the other people on YouTube running new equipment, and when I'm not, and it's hard to see my buddies. I mean, my buddies has got some of the newest stuff that's out, and then I get to go over there and run his stuff and help him out. And then that even makes it harder, because I'd never even been in a cab tractor until I got in his. Diversity is best on farming. Acre for acre hay has turned more profit for y'all. I don't doubt that, Mr. David. You and Mr. Clint's got a nice hay operation set up. Well, guys, it's already been about 80 minutes, and I try to do it normally around an hour. I hope to see all of y'all next Sunday. I hope each and every one of y'all have a good week. And y'all come back next Sunday. Come in earlier and so we can chat more during the thing, because it's going real good here at the end when I'm ending it. Thanks for watching and supporting us on YouTube, guys. Have a good one.